and me now. I know the Lord been good to me. I know the Lord and me now. I know the Lord been good to me. I know the devil and me now. I know the Lord been good to me. I know the Lord really been good to me. I thought I'd bring him in since this morning. It looks like Jesus was already came in. Looked like we already began to show out.
Amen.
Him coming in and showing out with the deacon and the son. I thought I'd put that in since this is we said a black Christian. And we know down through the years, the Lord has been good to us as a race of people.
Yes, he has.
So by him being so good, and we can look at this lesson and see how he was good back there with Daniel, and the same good God, the good God, was good with Daniel, and he is still good. So as I begin to get in this lesson, I'm kind of feeling good already from the beginning of it. You know, it may be cold on the outside, but it looks like this morning we feel to have some kind of punishment. Now, God has been good to us. Now, in the beginning, that first thing she read the introduction, it said, through the years, you know, what goes in my mind, through the years, I keep on talking. And I keep on turning. Because, you know, God is still good.
Amen.
How is he good? He was good yesterday. He's good today. And he's going to be good forevermore. So people say he's good all the time. Now, if we get into this lesson, and we see our road scripture to last week, what happened. Back in the book of Daniel, you know, it's kind of a continued process. We was in Daniel last week, and we in Daniel this week. But we said Daniel was the last of the old prophet. And I continue today, and I begin to look at things about what Daniel was all about. Do you realize what Daniel was all about? He was more than just a prophet. What was Daniel prophet about? And the reason, and prophet about faith. You know what happened? Those same people that God had brought them out, Moses let them out. And look what happened. 400 years you've been captive. Moses brings you out, and as soon as you get out, what do you do? Go back to doing what you were doing. So what happened after that? Come along, he doesn't got captive again. What is that? God raised up somebody. Who did he raise up? He raised up the Babylonians to bring them back in captivity. Here they are again, back in captivity for 70 more years. Think of that. You've been in there for 400 years. You come out, then you go back in for 7 years. So God continues to bring up prophet after prophet. Here we are bringing up Daniel. Now, what we know about Daniel, after this captivity, they had captured Daniel, and Daniel and his three co-workers, co-laborers, kind of like that because he was talking to the pagan people, the Babylonians, pagan folks. So when they got Daniel and his co-workers, the three last people, they wrote to them about Shadrach, Meshach, and they said, what? I'm ready to go. You know, some people say, Shadrach, Meshach, and a big Negro. Have you heard that before? I didn't say. I don't know what they said. I didn't. Big Negro. He's a bad Negro. See, I know that. See, y'all know this. Nobody else doesn't know. We also like to big now, so they don't know about that. Oh, now see, there you go. He said some people hold to they just want to see. I want to see, huh? See, he said that. I didn't go down. You're right. But anyhow, he said, he stand his ground. What Daniel did, you're going to get to what Daniel did. Stand his ground. When you stand your ground and stand what's right, who got your back? God got your back. Now, as we continue to go into this lesson here, and look what it says about Daniel. And last week, Rose told us about those three Hebrew boys, and they faced danger, and they faced that danger on what? The fire furnace. That was danger right there. So in order to face that danger, what did they have to have with them? They had God with them. And we get in this lesson this morning, we said, facing great danger. What do you do when you face danger? What is it? Stand on God's word when you face danger. Continue to pray when you face danger. Because if you know that you face it, and you continue to pray, and if you believe that you got somebody that have your back with you, what danger is that? Why is danger? No danger. I think it said there's no danger where? In the water. So when you got God in that water with you, whatever that water would be, when you got God with you, there's no danger. Whatever that danger you may face, as long as you know you got God. Last week, the 3 Hebrew boys, they faced danger. But what I like about them, no matter what danger they face, they still have what? Faith. They still have faith in God. What is your faith when you face that danger? What do you turn to? Where do you go? Go back to God? I go with God all the time. Go with God all the time when you face danger, because there is no danger that God ain't handle. God can be the captain of danger. So if you got him with you, don't worry about it. When we look at this lesson about danger this morning, when we said facing great danger, and look what danger did. Now what danger did, he demonstrated us about faith. What is your faith then? What is faith? There's something to what? Hope for everything not seen. So if you go back to the wars last week, what did they have? Faith. Because they believed that the same God that they had talked about, somehow told about, was still going to be with them when they go in that fire furnace. Now today we're going to see that Daniel. He believed that same thing will happen to him. Can you imagine when they talk about putting somebody in a lion den? You know what will happen. Lions are holding you up. So he is facing what? Great danger. And what I begin to think about this lesson about Daniel and what happened, come to my mind, what was Daniel facing that lion den from the beginning? Y'all see what? Couldn't pray. What praying? Call praying. Jealousy. That's the word. Now, you all probably know where I should get that from. What was the jealousy? Daniel was a Jew. Daniel was a Hebrew. The person over Daniel was a pagan. And this pagan king was believed in Daniel God after Daniel got through what he did. But there were some people that were jealous because they were pagan. Daniel was a Jew. So you mean to tell me a Jew gonna come and take my place and I'm a pagan? So that's talking about jealousy. What is the worst thing coming in our life? The worst somebody coming in our life, what could it be? Jealousy. Why does the jealousy start from? It can go all the way back to, you say your heart, but jealousy can go all the way back to your childhood. Jealousy can go back to your brothers and sisters. What is that? I am the oldest child. 12 years later, there comes you. Now what do that do? That leads to jealousy. Because for 12 years, I've had all the love, I've had all the affection, I've had everything I want for 12 years. And then, mom and dad decide they're going to bring you on board. And boy, what did that happen? Sometimes that's why the jealous come up. Because you going to take part of that kind I was giving. And you know people grow up with that? Up with that jealousy. Because they have had it, and here you come. This lesson here about some men jealous of things. And you know, when people get jealous of you sometimes, they'll find a way to either get rid of you or make it hard on you. This lesson, they said, they thought they found a way to get rid of Daniel. Because Daniel was not going to be in the position that he was. So when you look like Daniel, be like Daniel, and you face Daniel, I like what Daniel did. You know, I kind of love numbers. And you know what Daniel did. As we get into that, everybody know what Daniel did. And he did it not once, not twice, but what? That's what I like out of Daniel. So what did that tell me? What did that tell us? When we get in trouble, pray. When do we pray? All the time. Don't wait till trouble rise to pray. You keep on what? Praying. Daniel didn't wait till he get in the lion den. Daniel was already what? Praying. And how many times he prayed? 3 times a day. I like it. 3 times. Question. He said Daniel prayed when he got God to form his sheep. Daniel prayed. That's how he killed the bear. Daniel killed the bear by his praying, he said. And he prayed 3 times a day. Oh, 3 times a day. How many times a day should we pray? All the time. I don't have to pray 3 times a day. I need to pray what? All the day. But this tells us about how faith that Daniel had. When Daniel was facing Daniel, he was already praying. And he prayed 3 times a day. And he knows now what's going to happen here is something about prayer. That's to show you what people do when you do what God says to do. And as I begin to get in our lesson and talk about Daniel, the first thing we see, it says, a divine faith. Ooh, divine faith. No matter what you say, I'm going to stand on God's word.
That's it.
If it calls me, go to my grave, I'm going to stand on God's word. Think about those 12 disciples. All of them had a heart of death except one. And that one was who? John. John died of natural cause. Anyone the rest of them, they died at heart of death, those 12 disciples. Now, if you get to the point between living and dying for God, what are you going to do? Die for him. Die for God. Between living and dying. That's up. So, when you believe that, that means you got what? Faith. If you believe that dying is best for God, you don't mind dying. Because why? You know, if you die for God and die with right, that He have a place. So what is our purpose here on earth? Our purpose is to what? To serve God and get prayer. Get to heaven. And all the way we're going to get to heaven, we got to do what to get there?
Right.
You got to die to get there. But in order to die to get there, you got to be what? Prepared to get there. And when does the preparation start? The preparation starts right now. You prepare yourself to get there. Because you know no matter what danger you're facing out here, God can take care of you because God got your back. So what is it? I am defying faith. I'm going to stay right there and nobody change my faith. But say, people come along and tell you this is wrong, this is right. But if you have a defiant faith, what are you going to do? Stand on God's word. No matter what somebody tell you, I'm going to stand right there. What is that? Standing and see the salvation of who? We all going to come up with some time in our life. We all going to come up with some danger in our life. But as long as you know that there is a what? God, He said somewhere. I believe that somewhere is in heaven. Now, as long as you know that, you don't mind standing on God's word. Stand on the word. No matter what. My wife come out to one of the people say, well, I give up the right and the wrong. How many people read that Bible? Give me that scripture so I go back to study it. Where did that come from? Man. A lot of things we come from is what man has, and what does it do? It sounds good. It sounds good, but it's not good. Because it's not what? Biblical. This is what man says. Now, as we begin to get into this first point, it says a defiant faith. Reader, what do we have?
Verse 10. Now when David knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem. He kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed, and gave thanks before his God, and he did aforetime.
Daniel knew what they said. What did they say? If anybody be caught praying, what's going to happen? Throw them in the lion. Why did they come up with that? Go back to what we just said. The reason they came up with that, because what? Daniel had began to do something that they wanted him to do because he was a Jew. So what happened? They decided to come up with a scheme. Look how people fly. You know, when you sleep, when somebody want to get you, what do? They fly all night. While you sleeping, what are they doing? They losing all their sleep, flying on how they can what? How they can get you. While you laying there snowing, thinking everything is all right, the same enemy, they trying to figure a way to get you. Right here, they was trying to figure a way to get Daniel. What was that way? Well, we know Daniel was a Jew. And we know according to their custom, they pray all the time. And who do they pray to? They pray to their God. It's a pagan people. They pray to their God. So what we do, we're going to come up with something that we know Daniel, we know what Daniel going to do. What is Daniel going to do? Daniel going to pray. How many times a day is Daniel going to pray? 3 times a day. They already know it. But they've been what? They've been watching. You know, when somebody want to catch you, what they going to do? They're going to watch you every move. When you think they're not there, they still got their eye looking on you so they can find out something against you. They said, that man he's so big bird, so guilty. Oh, I did. I let you go to the house and then you'll see something different. That's what people do. When they want to get you, what do they do? They find a fault to get you so they can what? Punch that thing. Punch the thing. I know how to get it. They can learn pretty good, but I bet you something left behind that. Why? Jealousy. Jealousy is the key to it. So here, these guys, they were jealous of Daniel. Why? Because Daniel was not going to be right to stand and put him in. So what happened? They know what Daniel's going to do. Daniel was going to pray. And now what I like about Daniel, he didn't hide his prayer. What about you? If somebody called you to pray, what did you do? Pray. You're supposed to. Some people, somebody called you to pray, what they do? The hard stuff. Why? They stay. They never pray. So they say, Daniel, he knew what was going to happen. Daniel never stopped praying, and they knew how to catch Daniel. Daniel said, by that custom, this is how they're supposed to pray, by that custom. Daniel kept up with his custom, and they began to know that's what Daniel going to do. Daniel wasn't afraid to do what he was known to do, and Daniel did that. Read about that next verse, tell us about that.
Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God.
What did they do? After they had discussed that, they all got together, and then they started what? Looking. They started looking at supplication, looking for Daniel, because they knew that Daniel was going to do what? Pray. That was the custom. Daniel was going to pray. What I like about Daniel, Daniel wasn't just a special person. Daniel was a person that believed in who? God. Daniel was a person that believed and trusted God. Daniel believed whatever was going to happen, it was going to happen. But I'm not going to forsake who? God. I knew if they kept me praying, that they were going to throw me in the line. I knew that. But what Daniel said, that's not going to stop me from what? Praying. You know there's a God. No matter what somebody says, come to you telling you not to do it, what are you going to do? Still serve who? God, because I know there's a God, and I know He will take care of me. Daniel knew that He would take care of him. So no matter what they said, Daniel did what he normally do. He went. He didn't hide himself. He went back to the same place that he normally go, and he did the same thing that he's going to do. And really, what happened next?
Then the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him, and he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him.
King, I tell you what. We decide, since you are the king, that we're going to let everybody worship you. I want them to worship you how many days? 30 days, king. Everybody's going to worship nobody with you. Any other person come along, king. If any God come along, king, we're going to throw him in a line. And I'll tell you what, king, to make sure that we do that, I want you to sign this paper. What's that mean? If you sign on paper, what happened? That's a decree. And what happened? He can change it. He can change it. Now, the king wasn't thinking. The king believed that they were done. Because the king, if you go back and think about what the Hebrew boys had just done, what happened there? God delivered them. What God was the Hebrew boy serving? The same God that Daniel was serving. So the king had faith in Daniel there, who their God. But here come these people here saying, Daniel's not even supposed to have that authority, no how, because Daniel is a Jew. Now, since you've been a Jew, you don't need to power over us, because us is Jew. We are part of you. Daniel's not part of me. And you know, people say, you're not part of me. Oh, you're not part of me. So that means you should have that power. If I'm not in your family, you don't even have no word, because I'm not in your family. What they were telling them, the Jew was not in their family. So Daniel shouldn't have a word here, but the king saw something different. What did the king saw different? That Daniel was a man that believed in God. I'm talking about the God that just happened with the Hebrew boy. The king believed it because he knew about that thing. So what they decided to do, they got to make this decree, king. Now, once you make this decree, king, this is what happen once you make that decree. And you notice that the king, he didn't like it because they called him off God. You notice how people can get you off guard or something. Yeah. When you try to live right, who always knocking at your door? The devil always knocking on your door. While you sleep, who always knocking on your door? The devil. While you come, everything one way, who always knocking at your door? The devil. Because that's his job. What's his job to go? To and what? Wrong. Just like right. And see who he can divide. So what happened? Here they go, the three. Tell him about this thing. Now, once he told him about that there, and the king got, oh, no. This man, I just signed this decree. And I can't go back on it. You know, once you sign a king, you can't go back. You know that, though. Mm-hmm. Now, the king begins to worry about that there. And really, when you get to worry about that, it's, I think the king just kind of talk. The king didn't do well. He has talked and turned because he had done something that he really didn't want to do. What have they done? They had tricked. And when I just think about tricking, I think about old Jacob. You know, old Jacob was a trickster. And here you go. This guy here got tricked. The king got tricked by his own fault. Because once you sign it, it's done. So read what does Nation tell us about this?
Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy God whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee.
Oh, the king just messed up what he done. He thought about what he done. Look how they had tricked him, and they said he got to go. There's no other way around it. Because king, if you don't, you get liable. And you can't do that, king. You got to stay to your word. Your word is your bond. Have you heard people say it all the time? Yeah. If I give you my word, and then I put my word in writing. Yeah. So what I got to do? Stamp it. That's your word. Your word is the strongest thing that you have. To live on your word. So the king had not only had his word, but he had his word in what? In writing. He had it right. So that means for 30 days, you can't pray to nobody but the king. So you got to worship the king for 30 days, no matter what. Because if you don't, what's going to happen? You go in this lion den. Going to throw him in a lion den. Because what? You signed the free king. We got to worship. Last week, also, I believe they built a 90-foot statue. And what they told them, the three Hebrew boys to do? Bow down. So now, look what we have. We're going to build this king. And we're going to everybody what? Worship you for 30 days. I just tell you how people can plot against you. No matter how you live life, somebody can always plot against you. No matter what goes on in your life, how you live, somebody can plot against you. And a lot of people that plot against you is your own people plot against you. They try to find a way to bring you down. Instead of building you up, they're going to find a way to bring you down. Who do that most of them? Your own people. Sometimes friends will get out of the way, but your own people, sometimes your own friends blood. People that you brought up with, brothers and sisters. And then, I'm going to go up. Sometimes our own wife and our own husband do that stuff. You know, that's how this life works. But what we got to have, when all this come about, we got to have what? We got to have faith. Everything happened here is about what? Faith. Daniel had faith. And what I like about Daniel's faith, as we get to the next part of it, he knew something good will happen to him. The king also knew that if Daniel, the same God last week we talked about, is the same God this week, so he's going to do what? Save him. So Daniel, that God, the God that we have, last week God, the same God that brought you when you didn't have nothing. That same God is that same God that brought you where you are now, that you have something. Isn't that how good God is? He didn't change. That same God, what they do, and what they do, that same God will bring you. The king knew this. The three Hebrew boys knew this. I said, hand, like, you got a hand? You got some of them in here? Not in Union Road. Ain't the Union Road. We are a church that's on the move. So you mean tell me a church on the move got some of the same play haters? Don't tell me that. You can't have it in the Union Road. Why can you have it in the road? Because everybody in Union Road is not here to be saved. Some people in Union Grove are here to look and see what somebody else have on. Some people in Union Grove will look to see how you look this morning. Some people in Union Grove just come to be company. So, will you ever get out here? No. Everybody here is come to be saved. Everybody here don't come here to listen to Reverend Tyler preach. Some people time when Reverend Tyler preach, they got their ears stopped up. Not with their hand, but in their mind. I was in that. I didn't come to that. Some people come just to hear the choir sing. Some people come just to hear the deacon pray. So you got to have all that in the church and never think that, oh, Union Road don't have this to do. Because we all are what? Human. Yeah. We all have our own mind, but one thing we also have our heart on the what? On God. If you got your heart on God, so you're going to get just like Daniel was. It doesn't matter about them people that we said, play hate. You can hate on me all you want. All right. Because I know that I know there's a God that got my back. I don't care what you say about me. God got my back. So, this young man, don't worry about them people. Because if you get to worry about them people, you might get picked up. So I don't have time to worry about them. I got time to do what? Worry about myself. Because as long as you live in this world, you're going to have played haters. No matter. It's nobody. If Jesus had played haters, who was played haters? The one that hung on the cross. Did he do anybody wrong? Not so. So what I think about it, if Jesus had played haters, and Jesus is God, and I'm just a little special, but you don't have to play haters. So do I let that bother me? Don't bother you again. Keep on doing what you do. Because God got the last say. And with all that said, I believe we got a question. Anybody else? Thank you. The question says, which temptation to compromise his faith did Daniel resist? Which temptation did Daniel resist? To compromise his faith. Did he resist in the temptation? He didn't. What did Daniel do? Daniel kept on what? Praying. He didn't resist temptation. Temptation told him, don't you do that, Daniel. Because if you do that, where are you going? In an iron deep. So the only temptation Daniel did is just pray on to God. Now, I like what he did. He was so good that he let them sin pray. Now, wasn't that something? He didn't hide. No. What do we do? Oh, when I get home, I pray the Lord. I pray the Lord. Would you mind praying today in church? I'm not ready. You're not ready. If God comes back at this moment, are you going to tell God, wait a minute, not yet. Tell the same thing. Niggas said the same thing. God, not yet. I gotta remember that song by Slim and that beautiful woman. You remember that song? When it finally came back on her. Yeah. When it finally came back on her, she wasn't ready. She said it must have been the person next door, but it was her. So if God called you, are you ready? So you need to be just like David. Wherever you go, no matter where you be, you ought to always be what? Be ready. When will you be ready? Every day. Because he comes like a thief in the night. And what does that mean? How many times a thief came and told you, hey, this one ain't gonna rob the house? How many thieves ever got that? If a thief comes, what does he do? He gonna rob your house. He's not gonna warn you that he's coming. You got to be just like that. There's no temptation you get praised except God. Don't let nobody tempt you, because who's the tempter? Who's the tempter? Satan is always the tempter. Satan always gonna put something good to you. But what Satan look good to you is just a temporary thing. So there's no temptation to come before you that you change your heart for who? God. Because God is the light. God is light. So don't let nothing bring no darkness into your life. Let God be that light that you're looking forward to. No temptation to come in your life. And read what did that next say while we say a vindicated faith? Look at it. Vindicated faith. What it is? I know God don't trust. I've been worried that He's gonna deliver. Last week, who did He deliver? He delivered the 3 Hebrew boys. And look what Daniel said. Daniel said, vindicated faith, that God gonna deliver him. You got to have that word of God. You got to have that trust. And you got to what? Believe that He's gonna do what? What He said. What He said. He said, I will protect you. What is, fear no evil. You have no fear when you got God on your side. There's no fear when you got God on your back. There's no fear when you got God in you. What happened? We don't have the God that we proclaim. We got here proclaim that we got God. But when David comes like the southern, what happened when David comes? You forget about God when David comes. You begin to leave, but you got to have that same trust that David can have him. And read what the next tell us.
Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste into the den of lions.
How do you think the king got up so early?
You gonna see what Daniel did?
The scene. Tell us about it. He got up early up to the den to see that the lion ate up. The king did it. The king knew it. So he did the 3 Hebrew boys like that. What the king knew is that same God that did that back for the Hebrew boys, I think the king did was Nebuchadnezzar. Then this king here was King Darius. He knew that because he had some connection about that. So he knew about this God. He's a pagan person, but he still knew about this God that they served, because if you go back to what happened, this king here was not king then, but he remembered what happened back then. So if you remember what happened back then with those 3, he was saying this same God that delivered those 3 can do the same thing to this man here, which is Daniel. The king knew that. This was a pagan person who didn't believe until what happened. Last week, we said Nebuchadnezzar. That king began to believe. This weekend, we're going to see what happened. This king said, if you got that same faith, I believe your God will deliver you. So he got up, went to the lion's den in his mind. Think about it. If he believed that in his mind, what you think in his mind? She said that he knew that Daniel God was 8. The king knew that. He was hoping that Daniel would be saved. That was in his mind because he saw what had happened. How he heard about that, because he wasn't king at that time. He heard about what happened. So the same king that read about that, he got to have in mind that Daniel will be all right. And read, what did they tell us about that?
And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God whom thou servest continually, able to deliver thee from the lions?
When he got there, what was he expecting? What he just heard. What he just heard. He was expecting Daniel going to be alive. He was expecting it. Why was he expecting it? Because of the things that this God, that Daniel had heard, that he heard about him, would save him just like he did the them. So what I'm saying, the same God that brought you from a childhood to your adulthood, to your oldhood, will still do what? Save you. If he saved me when I was a boy, when I was all the things I shouldn't have done. He saved you when you was a girl, when you did all the things that you shouldn't have done. Now all of a sudden, this God don't have power to save you. What did it tell me? God changes what? If he changes not, and he saved me from all my wrongdoing, then he can still save me from all my wrongdoing right now. Because he is what? He is God, and he changes what? Now, well, who changed? We change. Because we don't what? We don't believe. We don't believe. We don't have enough what? Faith in the word. We don't have enough faith in that God. We don't have faith in him. But this day, and that king, he had faith in that same God that did what he done to the three, can do it to the one. I like it. It was 4. Last week it was 3. This week it's just what? 1. Look at how God put a point. He saved them last week. This week he'll save the one. Who is the one? Daniel. What does Daniel have? Faith. What did the 3 Hebrew boys have? Faith. What are you supposed to have? Where is your faith? Why is it not? Where is your faith? Your faith. Talking about who? You. Where is your faith? What faith do you have? When things get bad in your life, why is your faith? When things get bad in your life, who do you turn to? God. Why is your faith? Faith. You have to have faith and believe that and stand on your faith. When you stand on that faith, nothing can go wrong. Because if you do, I like it. Last week, the Hebrew boy said, if God doesn't, he still has a power to what? 2. I kind of like it. Do you like that? If he doesn't save me, he still got power to save me. So when you get that thing right there and get that in your heart, God may not do it, but God is able what? To do it. When you get that able to, then you know you're somewhere. Don't let nobody fool you. Because the same God was yesterday, today, and he will be for what? Forevermore. And then, read what we got.
Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever.
Now look at Daniel. Okay. Look at Daniel. Daniel had faith in what? What he said? Is God. And you know, Daniel didn't have nothing against the king. Daniel said, O king, live what? Forever. Go ahead, read what the next tell us.
My God has sent his angel and has shut the lion's mouth, that they have not hurt me, for as much as before him innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt.
King, don't worry about me. I can see that. Don't worry about me. I'm too king. Because what? God. He said, an angel, what an angel do? Oh, shut the lion mouth. And then I was going to read about lion. You know, when I read about lion, it said about Peter said, Satan described Satan as a lion. And what does a lion do? A lion come in the devour. And a lion come in what? And destroy. So when they put David in the lion den, they're talking about Satan right now. So what is your lion den? What are you facing? What lion do you face in life that God cannot put you in a shut up the mouth of an angel? What angel he can shut up? He can shut up death if he wants to. How you know? Because I believe he said, what? Who turned to the wall? How many years did he get? 15 more years. So that means if I can turn to God, whatever my death I'm going through, whatever line that somebody put me in, I know that the God will do what? He's going to deliver me. What is he going to deliver me? He can deliver me from my sins. He can deliver me from my lying. Can he do it? He can deliver me from my backbiting. He can deliver me from my fornicating. He can deliver me from doing everything wrong. Because I know there's what? There's a God. And what he do? Sometimes he do what? Shut up. You know, it's good sometimes. God shut up some people's mouth. Because that's going to get a lot of people in trouble. What? Your mouth gets you in trouble. So I'm so glad that I got a God to shut up your mouth. When you're talking about me, all I need to do is have what? Have faith, and what can you do? You can shut your mouth. What David said, "O king," he said, "an angel down there." What did the angel do? Last week, when they throw him in the fire, what? Was the fire hot? It was hot. How you know it was hot? Because it's going to people up. But I'll tell you last week, not only was the fire hot, but what he did, he gave them a fireproof suit. They walk around in the fire. So right here, what did he do? He shut up the lamb loud. Because the lamb was going to do what? Defile them. So what I'm saying, when Satan get on your back, you got a God that can defile Satan. Whatever that illness may be in your life, whatever it should be, you got a God that can do what? He can shut it up. I love my God because he do all the things. And read it, once he gets through shut it up, come to the next reader.
Then was the king exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his God.
You threw him in a den of lions, and then this man came out with no hurt. Can you imagine the lion, a den of lions, he came out with no hurt? The king was there, and the king knew that was going to happen, because the king read out Daniel board and what God Daniel was serving. So the king, when he went there, he already about Daniel. If the God that you've been talking about, the God that you serve, gonna save you, you're all right. And what did Daniel say? "O king, live forever." So instead of saying, "Oh king, I'm good, man. I'm good. Don't worry about me, because I serve a God that can and will deliver." And that's what happened right there. Oh, Daniel the king. Read what the next chapter.
I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men tremble and fear before the God of Daniel, for he is the living God and steadfast forever, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end.
When this is through, I make this decree that Daniel got. Now, look what happened. He took a pagan person and just converted a pagan person. What did that tell us to do? If you live right, you can bring somebody to God. It goes back to what? If you live right. What did Daniel do? Daniel prayed 3 times a day. Why did Daniel pray? He prayed so they could see him. Because Daniel knew that his God would do what? Would deliver. If you believe God can deliver you, whatever you're going through, all you need to do is keep on praying. Never stop praying. I don't care how bad it is. If you just say, "Thank you, Lord." You may not make do nothing, but you just get a little praying. If you can do that, you can do the same thing David did. I don't care if you may take your last breath, all you have to do is say, "Lord, save me." It doesn't matter where you go. If you just get that prayer in. But you don't make the prayer in. What did David do? He prayed what? 3 times a day. So what I'm telling you, we need to pray not 3 times a day. We need to pray what? Oh, if you can get a word in, you need to pray. Because look what happened. Prayer. What does that? Prayer changes things? How do you know? Did it change things right here? What did Daniel do? He prayed. What happened when Daniel got to pray? He shut up the loud mouth. Who did that? God. So if God can do it for Daniel, what did that tell you? He can do it for you. And read what that next tell us.
He delivered and rescued, and he worked signs and wonders in heaven and in earth, who had delivered Daniel from the power of the lions.
Let me see. He rescued him. He delivered him. He made signs and wonders. And he had a power over him. Who had all that power? Nobody but God. He didn't say the king. The king didn't say I have power. He said who has power? Daniel, God had that power. What did he do? He rescued him. Last week, I keep going back last week because all these lessons is consistent. Last week, we still talking about who? Daniel. Daniel was that prophet like that. So when you continue talking about Daniel, when you think about last week and think about this week, you're talking about the 3, then talking about the 4. So nobody can do that for who? God, because Jesus was the what? The Hebrew. And what he's going to beat up a system. God raised up a nation because they do the same thing that we do now. They're disobedient to God. So when you get disobedient to God, God will raise up somebody. I don't get that word from saying. Somebody to do something that you think that shouldn't be done, who has that power to do that? God, because God want to get your attention.
Yeah.
You know when God do something to get your attention? When you go so far wrong,
Yeah.
God has a way to bring you back.
Oh, yes, he
And
does.
sometimes He bring you back. He don't bring you back the way that you expect to come
All
back.
right.
But when you got God on your side,
Yeah.
and you know God can do it,
Yeah.
all you got to do is keep on worshiping and doing what God says. Now, I like this lesson. This was a good lesson that we should learn from. Now, with all that being said, I think you want to say something. He gonna wait to do that. But this is what I want to say. The end of our lesson. But I need Miss Yellow Gal to come up here, and I need Miss Pat to come up here. Miss Rouse, I need to come up here, Miss Rouse. I got time. Oh, okay, Miss Rouse.
I know you ain't trying to do that.
All right. Last week, in our Sunday school, last week, this protection, and said she come up with an idea. So I went into the pastor study, asked Pastor that, he got his phone to the big. See how things are the same thing. Would you believe it? He didn't know anything about it, but we take a lot. But here's the key. The key is that she said, so we already doing some birthday, and can we get back to birthday? Now, you know, Pastor told you last week he would give you the details. We talked about it, so here's the details. We're asking, starting next month, we got a lot of that every member that wants to participate, now listen to what I'm saying, that wants